Hello my dear students, welcome back to my channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe my channel. If you are coming for the first time, if you are watching my channel, and please share to your maximum number of friends so that it will be useful to you. I am going to discuss all 11th and 12th class syllabus one by one. So first I'll start with the difficult topics of 11th class. Similarly, I'll continue with 12th class starting from the first topic. So that will be useful to the students, those who have completed their 11th class. So I'm going to start with first topic of 12th class after completing this. So it will be very useful if you keep following the videos, each video and complete video from the beginning till the end. So please watch my channel and then subscribe and share to your maximum number of friends so that you can get maximum help from these. So now let us continue with the topic which I want to discuss. I am continuing with the topic of respiration in 11th class biology. So here I completed up to glycolysis and also up to fermentation. So in aerobic respiration, we start with aerobic respiration. Then aerobic respiration consists of 4 steps. First step is called as glycolysis. The second step is called as link reaction. The third step is called as a Krebs cycle. So here I have already listed down. And the fourth step is called electron transport system and oxidative phosphorylation. Glycolysis is common for both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. And it takes place in cytoplasm. Link reaction and Krebs cycle. These two take place in matrix of mitochondria. Electron transport and oxidative phosphorylation, they take place on the inner membrane of mitochondria. So we already completed fermentation in anaerobic respiration. Glycolysis also we completed, which is the common step. Now, the next step in aerobic respiration is the link reaction. Link reaction, it is so called because it is connecting link between glycolysis and Krebs cycle. So, after the link reaction, the product which is formed, that is acetyl coenzyme A, that enters into Krebs cycle. So that's why this is called link reaction, and the substance, that is acetyl coenzyme A, which is formed, that is called as a link substance. So now let us see what happens exactly in this link reaction. So here 2 molecules of pyruvic acid which are formed. So here I am going to explain in detail separately also the 2 molecules of pyruvic acid which are formed during glycolysis. The 2 molecules of pyruvic acid are formed during glycolysis, which is taking place in cytoplasm. So, from cytoplasm, the pyruvic acid molecules must enter into matrix of mitochondria. So, they have to cross the membrane of mitochondria. On the membrane of mitochondria, there is a protein called as pyruvate translocator. There is a protein called pyruvate translocator. This is located on the membrane of mitochondria. This protein helps in transfer of or transport of pyruvic acid towards the matrix. So what is function of this pyruvate translocator is to transport. Its function is to transport of pyruvic acid. In which direction? Transport of pyruvic acid from cytoplasm to matrix of mitochondria. Matrix of mitochondria. This is the function of this pyruvate translocator. So once now the pyruvic acid enters into the matrix of mitochondria, it undergoes complete breakdown or it undergoes complete oxidation. Before it enters into Krebs cycle, before it enters into Krebs cycle, it undergoes a intermediate step, an intermediate step which is called as a link reaction. The link reaction actually is a oxidative decarboxylation reaction. It is oxidative decarboxylation reaction. That means there is both oxidation as well as decarboxylation. And this is the second oxidation reaction in aerobic respiration. First oxidation takes place in glycolysis. Only one oxidation takes place in glycolysis. And this is the second oxidation which is taking place in the link reaction. It is called as oxidative decarboxylation. It is both oxidation as well as decarboxylation. And how does it take place? Let us see. Diagrammatically I have already represented how it takes place. So 2 molecules of pyruvic acid are converted into 2 molecules of acetyl coenzyme A. In presence of this enzyme called pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, here 2 molecules of carbon dioxide are liberated because it is a decarboxylation and it is an oxidation. So NADH2 is formed. As a result of oxidation, NADH2 is formed. And the result is 2 molecules of acetyl coenzyme A. This is a 2-carbon compound. Pyruvic acid is a 3-carbon compound. So after losing carbon dioxide, this is converted into 2-carbon compound, that is acetyl coenzyme A. And for this, it requires 5 cofactors. And pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, it is a complex enzyme consisting of 3 different enzymes. So now let us see what is the composition of this enzyme called pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. So pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, it is a complex enzyme with consisting of 3 enzymes. It consists of 3 enzymes. So 3 enzymes which are present are, I have listed down here, pyruvate decarboxylase. The first one is pyruvate decarboxylase. This pyruvate decarboxylase enzyme, as the name suggests, it helps in the process of decarboxylation. That is removal of carbon dioxide. And this pyruvate dehydrogenase complex has a prosthetic group called TPP. It has a prosthetic group called TPP. TPP is thymine pyrophosphate. This is the first reaction, that is decarboxylation reaction taking place. Second one is oxidation reaction. For oxidation reaction, the enzyme is pyruvate. It is called as a dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase. Pyruvate dehydrogenase also it can be called as dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase. And this brings about oxidation reaction, which is second reaction taking place. So as a result of oxidation, there is formation of NADH2. And the prosthetic group for this one. So what is the prosthetic group for this one is dihydrolipoyl. So it is called lipoic acid. acid. That is dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase. Now, and it brings about oxidation reaction. Third enzyme is called dihydrolipoyl transacetylase. Dihydrolipoyl transacetylase. This brings about the next reaction, third reaction, called as condensation reaction. It brings about the third reaction called as condensation. Condensation takes place in presence of coenzyme A. Coenzyme A. And for this enzyme, dihydrolipoyl transacetylase, its prosthetic group is FAD. FAD means flavin adenine dinucleotide. Flavin adenine dinucleotide. So this dehydrogenase complex is a set of these three enzymes. First reaction is decarboxylation, second reaction is oxidation, and third reaction is condensation reaction. So as a result of the set of these three reactions, what is the product formed is two molecules of acetyl coenzyme A. It is the product, two molecules of acetyl coenzyme A. And for the entire complex, all enzymes together, entire complex, they require about 5 cofactors. 5 cofactors. That is, first one is magnesium ion. It also requires magnesium ion. It requires NAD. As we have seen, this prosthetic group FAD also is required. TPP is required. Lipoic acid and coenzyme A. So these are the 6 cofactors which are required for this enzyme. So this is called as a link reaction, or it is called as oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid. So as a result of oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid, in the matrix, this is taking place in the matrix, we have 2 molecules of acetyl coenzyme A. Now this acetyl coenzyme A must participate in the next step, that is called as a Krebs cycle. So with this we complete the link reaction or oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acid. So next we will start with Krebs cycle. So let us start with Krebs cycle and brief introduction about Krebs cycle. So the Krebs cycle was studied by Hans Krebs. So I'll give you what is the scientist's name and why it is called and what are the different names. So Krebs cycle studied by Hans Krebs. That's why it is named as Krebs cycle. It is also called as, the other name is, it is also called as a citric acid cycle. Because the first product formed is 6-carbon compound, that is citric acid. So it is also called as citric acid cycle. And it is also called as a tricarboxylic acid cycle or TCA cycle. Or it is called as a tricarboxylic acid cycle. So it is given by these different names. And this occurrence in the matrix of mitochondria. So where does it occur? Its occurrence. It occurs in matrix of mitochondria. And 2-acetyl coenzyme A, which are formed during the previous step, that is link reaction, they participate. So here the Krebs cycle, 2 turns of Krebs cycle takes place. For 2 acetyl coenzyme A molecules, 2 turns of Krebs cycle take place for formation of the product. So 2 turns of Krebs cycle. And the number of oxidation reactions here are, 4 oxidation reactions. 4 oxidation reactions take place in Krebs cycle. Altogether, we discussed there are 6 oxidation reactions take place. So 4 oxidation reactions take place here. And 1 oxidation each in Krebs link reaction and 1 oxidation in glycolysis. So altogether there are 4 oxidation reactions taking place, and all oxidation reactions are dehydrogenation process. They take place by dehydrogenation process. Now let us see what are the different steps in Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle occurs in 10 different steps. So it occurs in 10 different. So let us see what are all the 10 different steps in Krebs cycle. So first I'll give you you can just watch what are the complete pathway of Krebs cycle. Complete pathway. So here we start with, I have numbered the reactions also. So altogether there are 10 reactions taking place in Krebs cycle. Total of 10 steps are involved. So each step I have given the name of the enzyme and the products which are formed each step. So let us first start with step by step and each reaction. Suppose we take first acetyl coenzyme A. 2 molecules are formed. So acetyl coenzyme 2 times, I told you 2 turns of Krebs cycle must take place. So acetyl coenzyme A combines with 4 carbon compound, that is oxaloacetic acid. OAA is oxaloacetic acid. It requires water. This is in presence of citrate synthetase enzyme, and it forms the first compound called as citric acid. Citric acid is a 6 carbon compound. It is a 6 carbon compound. Citric acid is a 6 carbon compound. And next, this reaction, the name of the reaction, this is called as a condensation reaction. First reaction is called as condensation reaction. Condensation. Because here 2 and 4 molecules, they condense together and form a 6 carbon compound. So first reaction we call it as a condensation reaction. Condensation. And second reaction, this is the second step. In second step, citric acid is converted to cis-aconitic acid. This takes place in presence of the enzyme aconitase, and water is liberated, so it is a dehydration process. So the name of the reaction here is called dehydration process. Cis-aconitic acid is also a 6 carbon compound. This is also a 6 carbon. Now, next one is from cis-aconitic acid, we have isocitric acid. Same, enzyme is same, aconitase. And this requires water, and iron also is required here. So since water is required, this reaction can be called as hydration reaction. This can be called as hydration reaction. Isocitric acid is also a 6 carbon compound. Now next, isocitric acid is converted to oxalosuccinic acid. This is the fourth step. And the enzyme required is isocitric dehydrogenase. And this is the oxidation reaction. So it is the first oxidation reaction here. So oxidation 1. First oxidation reaction in Krebs cycle. Oxidation 1. And there is a formation of 1 NADH2. Oxalosuccinic acid is also a 6-carbon compound. That is the fourth step. Now, in the next step, fifth step. In fifth step, we find oxalosuccinic acid is converted into alpha-ketoglutaric acid. Alpha-ketoglutaric acid. Here we require magnesium ion, manganese ions, and there is a liberation of carbon dioxide also. So this is a decarboxylation reaction. Because there is a removal of carbon dioxide, we can name this reaction as decarboxylation reaction. We can name this reaction as decarboxylation reaction. Decarboxylation. And alpha-ketoglutaric acid is a 5-carbon compound. This is the only 5-carbon compound formed here. Only 5-carbon compound. And this reaction, fifth reaction, the enzyme required is oxalosuccinic decarboxylase enzyme. Now next coming to the next one, sixth reaction. Sixth reaction we find there is a conversion of alpha-ketoglutaric acid. There is a conversion of alpha-ketoglutaric acid, which is a 5-carbon compound, is converted to succinyl coenzyme A. This reaction is exactly similar to link reaction. Whatever cofactors required for link reaction are required here. And this is an oxidation reaction also. Sixth reaction is an oxidation. And this is a second oxidation. So sixth we can name it as oxidation 2. This is a second oxidation reaction. In presence of enzyme alpha-ketoglutaric dehydrogenase. Alpha-ketoglutaric dehydrogenase. And coenzyme A is required, carbon dioxide is liberated, and there is a formation of NADH2. Requirement of magnesium also is required here. That is the sixth reaction. Now let us see the next one, seventh reaction. Seventh reaction we find succinyl coenzyme A. In seventh reaction we find succinyl coenzyme A is converted to succinic acid. From here all are 4-carbon compounds. Starting from succinyl coenzyme A, whatever all the products formed, all the compounds formed, they are all 4-carbon compounds. And succinyl coenzyme A is converted to succinic acid in presence of the enzyme succinyl thiokinase, and there is again water is required here. Succinyl thiokinase with requirement of water. And here we also find there is a formation of GTP. That means an energy molecule is formed. This GTP will be later converted also to ATP. It is converted to ATP. Since there is a formation of ATP, this seventh reaction is called as substrate level phosphorylation. I will write this as short form, which earlier we discussed, SLP. SLP means this is a substrate level phosphorylation. Substrate level phosphorylation. That is seventh. Now next let us go to next one, eighth reaction. We find succinic acid is converted to fumaric acid in presence of enzyme succinic dehydrogenase. Eighth reaction takes place in presence of this enzyme succinic dehydrogenase. And here there is a formation of FADH2. This is again another oxidation reaction. Eighth reaction. So this we can name it as oxidation 3. This we name it as oxidation third oxidation reaction. Now next reaction, ninth step, fumaric acid. Fumaric acid is converted to malic acid. This again requires water in presence of enzyme fumarase. So since water is required, this reaction is named as hydration reaction. This reaction is named as hydration reaction. Now, that is the 9th. Now, the last reaction. Malic acid, which is 4 carbon. All these I told you from succinyl coenzyme A onwards, they are all 4 carbon compounds. So, this malic acid is converted to oxaloacetic acid. This is in presence of enzyme malate dehydrogenase, and there is a formation of NADH2. That means this is also an oxidation reaction, and this is the oxidation 4th oxidation reaction. It is the oxidation 4. So 4th oxidation. So here we have seen 4 oxidation reactions. So what are all 4 oxidation reactions? 4th is an oxidation. So 4th, 6th, 8th and 10th. Those are all oxidation reactions. So these are the all 10 reactions. So here very important for you is you have to remember each and every reaction, name of the reaction and the name of the enzymes. And what are all the carbon atoms present? As I told you, from citric acid to oxalosuccinic, all are 6 carbon. Only 5 carbon is alpha ketoglutaric acid. From succinyl coenzyme A onwards up to oxaloacetic acid, all are 4 carbon compounds. So this is how we can represent the complete Krebs cycle. So when you learn it, you can split into reactions and write. So next, what I can give you is what are all the products. So first I want you to just watch it carefully once again and then try to write it down properly as we have done it. So I hope it is clear, children, all of you. Okay. Now, next I'll give you brief summary of Krebs cycle. I will just give you a brief summary. So what all you can remember, a brief summary of Krebs cycle. Summary of Krebs cycle. Summary of Krebs cycle. So now here I will just give you just the name of the, just what are all the products formed. I'll just give you only the products formed. So products formed are NADH2 are formed. NADH2. So in Krebs cycle 2 turns, I told you 2 turns of Krebs cycle will take place. So NADH2 formed will be total 6 NADH2. FADH2 formed for 2 turns will be 2 FADH2 and ATP formed will be 2 ATP. ATP is formed due to substrate level phosphorylation. Altogether there are 4 oxidation reactions. 4 oxidation reactions will take place. So hydration, dehydration, this we will again summarize the names of reactions when we do the balance sheet of aerobic respiration. So children, with this I complete Krebs cycle. So in my next session I will continue with the electron transport, and after electron transport we will do the balance sheet of aerobic respiration. So thank you very much children. I hope you have understood and liked the video. So share to your friends and ask them to subscribe. This will be going to be maximum help to you. Thank you very much children.